Okay, so thank you all for joining in today. Good morning, good afternoon, and this is 29th episode of free Intune training provided by How to Manage Devices community. My name is Anoop. I'm Microsoft MVP for more than 5 years now, and thank you, Jitesh, for always like very helpful for the community. He is sharing a lot of stuff. He is writing a lot of blog posts, and he's every day kind of reminding the entire community about the training, right? So thank you, Jitesh, for incredible efforts you are putting in. Okay, so today we are going to see what happened yesterday with configuration policies which we deployed or we assigned to a group of personal Windows devices, right? We named the policy as password policy. Then I realized that we did some mistake, right? Okay, we will see what does that mistake, right? What we did. So this is successfully deployed to two devices. Okay. And if you go to the devices, before going to the devices, let's see what is the device status over here, right? In the device status, you can see two devices, that is Intune 02, Intune 04, right? These are the two devices. And if you go to user status, you would be able to see only one user is licensed in those two devices, right? Okay, so the per setting status, this is interesting one, right? So probably you would be able to see per setting status, right, in Intune. This is really useful in some scenarios, right? You can see, oh, okay, we deployed Microsoft Edge. We deployed a policy with start with Microsoft Edge, right? We were not aware of that. We deployed that. We didn't notice that yesterday, right? We just used the default template and we only selected password policies, right? Okay. Yeah, this is the one of them we selected deliberately, and this is not something we selected. It automatically, I think, potentially unwanted application, right? Number of sign in, yeah, this we selected, right? And default one, yeah, that's fine. Minimum password length, these two we selected. So these two we didn't select, these two. How come it came, right? So let's check that. First, start to go to the properties, configuration settings. Now, what I learned is basically when we create a policy, right, out of box policy, and if you are using restriction profile, right, the one which we used yesterday, you need to go through all these settings, right, all these sections, and make sure you are not selecting or anything is by default on or not, right? So if by default something is on, probably it's better to may make it not configure or something else, right, as per your requirement. Because why I'm saying that, because yesterday we were expecting that this policy will have only password settings, right? Not the edge open with edge settings and other setting, right? Okay, so app store is fine. I can't see anything is configured, right? Let's go to cellular and connectivity. I don't see anything over here configured, so that's fine. Cloud and storage, I don't see anything over here configured, right? Cloud printing, nothing configured here. Cloud printing, control panel settings, right? Nothing configured here. If I can make connection is gone. No, okay. Nothing configured here, right? Display, Let's check display. Display, I can't see anything. Any configuration over there. This is also everything is kind of not con. Okay. What is this? Enabled. Also, this is one thing enabled by default, and there is no option to not configure in this, right? Direct memory access. So this is the default configuration, right? So we don't have any option. So we need to leave that as it is. So the idea behind the today's exercise is basically we need to make sure that we are not selecting the default policies, like if it's something like enabled, right? So probably if we have an option to do a not configured to select a not configured option, then we need to select that, right? Okay, so now let's go back to the client device. This is the one. And before going to registry, yesterday the client policy got deployed around 8:31 a.m., right? Yesterday, after I think we finished our meeting around 8:32, we were going through the question and answers. At the same time, it received the policy, right? So let's check where it all started, right? So 8:31, right? 8:31. Okay, this is the first one. This is just a sync, I think. Yep. And if I go down over here, you can see pre-check, all security, that is fine. That is, yesterday also we have seen this health certificate. Now, yeah, now this is interesting one. This is the interesting one, right? The fake one. Yesterday I got an update from Intune support team that yeah, they know about the issue and they are working on it, and this is something to do with some Windows patching. They need to make sure that all the Windows devices are kind of supporting or supported for ADMX policies. Okay, so if you don't know what is ADMX or policies or templates, then we are going to see that in our upcoming sessions. So don't worry about that now. Okay, so this is the first policy. It got deployed or applied on the device, right? So this is set default search engine as, I don't know, probably Bing. Okay, so that is one policy which got automatically set, and this is the other policy which automatically set, right? Okay, as you have seen that there is a PUA policy deployed, right? And the other one is minimum device password length, right? This is what we configured yesterday. Okay, minimum password length, and the other one is yeah, this is same thing. Minimum device password length, both are same. Okay, alphanumeric device password. So this is the event logs. These are the event logs you can check, right? And understand what is happening, which are the configuration flown down to Windows 10 device, right? Okay, so now going back to registry, right? So registry, I don't know how many of you remember. Previously, we were able to see only like in software, Microsoft PolicyManager providers, and there's GUID. After that, default device, and inside the device, we were only able to see the updates, right? There were all the other three folders were not there if I or previous in the previous videos, right? After deploying this policy, I think I'm having some connectivity issue today. Okay. After deploying the policy, I'm not able to click this now. Okay, anyways, let me try again. Okay, that's fine now. After deploying yesterday's policy, it came up with browser, defender, and device lock, right? Device lock is basically the password related policies, right? So if I click on device lock, you would be able to see password related policies. There are policies which we have configured, right? Alphanumeric value is set to 0, and device password enable 0, while password failed attempts, that is I think 11, right? And complex character 2. Okay. So these are the policies which we have configured yesterday and deployed, right? And defender policies which automatically came, right, as you have seen, and the one browser policy also automatically came, right? We because we didn't had any option to not configure it. It was only enable or disable. So probably it's better to disable it then, right? Some of the browser policies, etc., etc. If you don't want search engine as edge default or something like that, right? Okay. So that is on the deploy on the BYO device. This is BYO device, right? We deployed these policies to BYO device. Now let's check what is happening with the Azure AD joint device, right? In this mission, we have not deployed any password policies, right? So as you can see over here in the registry, under the device, only one folder is there, that is update, right? Over here, if you look the other device, right? This is the other one, right? So let's check. Let's compare side by side, right? So over here, you would be able to see browser, defender, device lock, right? But over here, we can only see updates, right? So let's try to refresh and see whether that makes any difference or not. No. Okay. Refresh doesn't make any difference, right? It's because we didn't deploy this policy to company owned devices or CYO scenario, right? So now what we are going to do is I'm going to try to restart this my personal device or VM and see like when it is kind of enforcing the password change, or it's already there. The password policy which we configured is already complex enough, right? So we don't need to change the password. Okay. So while waiting for that, let's create one more policy, right? One more profile, configuration profile. Let's say Windows 10, and yesterday we did device restrictions, right? So device restriction, Windows 10 team, this is for that those special devices, right? Which Teams is running or something, right? So we don't have to worry about that if you are deploying Windows 10 normal devices. If you are deploying the policies to the normal devices, right? So this is the one you can see, and this is one interesting policy, right? Domain join kind of a policy. Um, I don't normally use this, right? Domain join domain, and I will say like domain join next. So computer name prefix you can put over here, domain name you can put over here, organization name you can put over here, and this is specifically for some special use cases, right? So I don't know exactly what is the use case for this, but this was kind of interesting for me when I checked that, right? I don't know how many of you have seen it, used it before, but yeah, it is good that they are kind of working on this kind of policies, right? So another interesting policy is something like ed edition upgrade. This is already there in SCCM also. I don't know how many of you have seen it. Edition upgrade, right? For example, if you want to kind of upgrade from Windows 10 professional version to enterprise version, right? Then you can use this policy, professional to enterprise, right? Enterprise, Windows 10 professional to enterprise upgrade, edition upgrade. Okay. So let's say next, and over here you would be able to see it. You can upgrade to probably enterprise, right? And you can enter the product key. And the other interesting option is if you want to switch to switch out of S mode, right? If you want to switch out of S mode, I don't know how many of you know S mode. It's a mode where Win32 applications won't work and PowerShell scripts won't work, etc., etc. Right? Special edition of Windows 10, and it was not very successful from a adoption perspective, right? So if you want to switch those modes, then you can use this kind of policy, right? So and you have to enter some key over here. I don't want to enter that at the moment. So yeah, this is another kind of example which we can use, right? So let's go back and do a device restriction policy again and say something else, right? I don't know what to set. Test device restriction policy. Okay. And let's see what is happening over there. Okay, it's taking time today. So where we have seen that lock screen experience messages, Edge browser. Okay. Edge browser, use Edge browser chaos mode. That is fine. Okay, so this is start custom pages, the default one. So if you want to remove that, new tab, make it new tab, then you can do that, right? And you can say like, okay, I don't want that additional one, and I just want the new tab. I don't want Bing or something else, right? And search is another option. User defined is fine. Start menu, you can configure the start menu with an XML, right? If you have an XML for configuring the start menu, you can do that, right? See, a lot of configurations are there. If you want to like picture, hide picture, video, start, etc., etc., right? A lot of options are there. Shut down, sign out, right? Shutdown, block shutdown option is there, right? So those options are available. That's really interesting, right? Block shutdown and sign out option is really kind of useful in WVD or VDI scenarios, right? If you are not familiar with that option, right? Battery settings you can configure, right? So these are kind of restriction options, right? So if I remember, we have only changed the new tab in the edge right over here. So let's do that. And oh, okay, I didn't deploy it. Probably it's better to deploy it to the company owned devices. HTMD company owned devices, that is always like check what is the what are the devices available in the company owned devices, right? Before you deploy company owned devices in Azure AD groups. Okay. So if I don't know how much. Okay. So these are the two devices in the company owned group. So we deploy and if you want you can go come over here and edit it, right? Yeah. So direct memory access, it's enabled by default, as you have seen in the last one also. This is also enabled default defender policies over here, right? And scope remaining things are like fine, right? Edge new tab, this is under other configuration, right? So if I go to setting status, it is not showing up there, right? So now this is the mission. This is a company owned device, and let's see, is there any refresh? Nothing happened. And let me refresh the event log and check what happened. Nothing happened. Probably I will try to initiate. Ah, interesting, right? The icon of company portal got changed, right? That is new icon. Yesterday when we saw, this was different, right? Now we can see a new icon of for the company portal. That's pretty interesting. Wow, nice. I, I like icon. Okay, so let connectivity issue. It says network connection to Bastion host. Oh, it's gone. Give me a sec. Let me connect back. Okay, so let me sync and see what is happening. So let's while syncing, probably I can connect back to the device which we restarted, right? This is the one, I think. Only, sorry, MDM only. Huh? Did I shut down or did I? Ah, you must change the password. Wow. Yay, our policy is working. Okay. So you must change your password before logging in onto the first time. Please update your password or contact your administrator or technical support. Yes, good. So our Intune password policy is working. Fine. So now I need to find out the password, the previous password to change it, right? So I don't remember the previous password. So where is the password? Let me search for the password. Okay, so I think I got it. Now I need to edit this and edit the password, and it is not going to work in that way, I feel. Let me connect with another MSTSC then, right? And let me delete this and connect. Now I'm going to put the old password. It's going to be a bit tricky. I don't know how this is going to work. Login attempt failed. Huh. Now I need to figure out the way to get back into this mission. Probably I broke the mission. Okay, anyways, I will figure out that and let you know the story tomorrow. Okay, so so let's refresh this one, company portal, and sorry, company owned device, and it got policy. Okay, so which are the policies? This is fake one. Oh, that's fine. Okay, so let's check. Which other policies got updated? Nothing much, nothing much, nothing. Okay, nothing. It's interesting. Oh. This is MDM session started. This is configure edge. Okay. So we got our policy one first one, right? And we got that the special one, right? And now it's time to check the whether it is getting updated over here, right? This is interesting. Over here, I still have the connectivity issue, right? Update. You can see only update, right? Because this is if I go back and if I go search, oh, you can see browser and defender along with update. If I click on browser, it's not coming, right? Yesterday I was testing it and I was getting troubled. Why it's not coming? Then what I did is I went to devices and give a refresh, right? Then it appeared, all these things appeared. Then I can go over here and I can select browser and it will appear, right? So that was a bit a tricky one for me, a bit of a tricky one for me. Okay, so it got appeared defender and update was already there. Defender got up. The defender policy came down. That was PU AP protection. So by that is by default on. So these are the things which I wanted to cover today. I need to fix my BYO device. I don't know how to log into that now. Okay, let's do that tomorrow. Okay. So any questions for today? Are you guys still with me? Are you able to understand the things which we are covering? And is it am I going very fast or very slow? What is the feedback?
No, sir, it's perfect. So we are able to understand. So as of now, there is no question from my side. So it's fine.
Okay, thank you.
It's fine, Alok. And so my Azure VM got expired. So this Intune license is active, EMS license,
Yeah,
but Azure VM is I have lost that license. So
that's
that
only
is
30,
yeah,
no, not 30 days. I think 10,000 rupees or something like that, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
So any other suggestions how to proceed?
It's tricky, right? If you have a Hyper-V lab, then probably you can build a Windows 10 machine and try to join, right? Try to do a Azure AD join. Okay, you can do that. If it's not there, then probably it's a bit tricky, right? Probably we need to use a different credit card or mobile number and email ID to get another 10,000 and build a mission again,
Okay.
right? There is no straightforward way to do that. Earlier we used to, like, in our Bangalore IT Pro in-person events and all, right? We used to provide Microsoft used to provide us like free Azure coupons, right? For MVPs and all, and we distribute those coupons to participants. Now I think they stopped that. They don't provide those kind of coupons, free coupons, for Azure with Azure credit. So we are kind of stuck now. Yeah, I know it's a bit difficult. But if you
Okay.
have
Maybe
Hyper-V VM, then it's easy to host VM missions and manage.
okay. Okay. So if I use different subscription for Azure VM, so how to integrate? So there will be two tenant, right? So this
Yeah,
Intune is
I'm using the same one, right? Because sorry, I'm using the different ones, right? So over here, these VMs are part of my different subscription, right? Not part of the trial subscription which we are using. Okay, so we are using a trial subscription for the Intune training, right? Where is it? I'm using a trial subscription for Intune connectivity errors. So I'm using a trial subscription for Intune training, but I'm using all these VMs are hosted in a different subscription, so that's perfectly fine. That
Okay.
works.
Okay. Okay, fine. I'll try this. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
Anup, one question. I missed that earlier part. You were also mentioning about how we can convert the license from Pro to Enterprise. Is there something we can do through these policies?
Yeah, that's correct. You can do that through the policies. If you have a Windows 10 key, right, for the enterprise, then you can do that.
And also, there is a way through do with the license, the
Yeah, yeah,
user license.
yeah, exactly. If you have a license over here, right, in the enterprise licenses, Azure AD, if you go to Azure AD, and where is it? If I'm minimum, why I'm where is my other screen? Let me minimize. No. Azure AD join device. Where is my portal? Give me a sec. Oh, okay. This is the one. Come on. This is the one. Right. So basically, if you go to Azure AD portal, come on. Today demo gods are not exactly with me. Okay. So anyway, so I'm getting troubled to get into my minimize this one. Give me a sec, one more, give it one more try. Yeah, but you are correct. So if you go to Azure Portal, right, Azure Portal, and go to licenses, and if your user is already assigned to an enterprise license, then it will automatically get upgraded, I feel.
Okay. And that licensing is part of M365, I believe, right? We don't have to purchase extra.
So that's a bit tricky part for me because I'm not a license expert. So yeah, so EMS E3 or I don't know, EMS E3 will have enterprise license. No, EMS E3 and E5 doesn't have enterprise license, I think. For Windows 10, probably we need to get the M365 license as you mentioned. But I can confirm because if I can, yeah. Give me a sec. This is 15. Let me minimize. Come on. Where is the other one now? Okay, let me minimize this. This is also same. Very good. Let me close this then. Very good. Now what happened? I screwed up today, I think. Hmm. Okay, so yeah, this is the other one which I can use. Ooh. Okay, anyways, I need to find out a way to come out of this. Yeah, anyways, like I think I need to confirm that whether it's part of EMS E3 or E5. I don't think it's part of EMS E3 and E5 because in our production environment we used to assign a different license, that is Windows 10 enterprise license, I think. Okay, but it's part of Microsoft 365 license as well.
Okay. Thanks. I feel same.
Okay. Okay, so any other questions? If you don't have any other questions, probably we'll meet you tomorrow, same time, same place. Tomorrow is Friday, and In the weekend, we are starting season 2 of weekend learning. That is probably SCCM learning. So we'll see you tomorrow, same place, same time. And if you like these videos, please help us with kind of reaching more people, right? Please share, like the videos, recordings. Thank you. Thank you all for joining in. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anup.
Thank you. Anup.